It's lockdown 2.0, people, but instead of worrying about it or feeling down, I'm gonna convince you why this might be the best thing that ever happened to you in terms of your training and your mental health. And it couldn't have happened on a nicer day as well, just to hammer the point home. In fact, I'm actually out here on a 2-kilometer run, which for most of you would probably be a complete waste of time, and probably would have been for me even half a year ago. But my mindset has shifted a little bit. There are bigger plans underneath what I'm doing that I'm really excited to share with you. But I need to carry on this 2K because, you know, I've got to get it done, haven't I? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you how I think you can make the absolute most of lockdown for the rest of your life. But not only that, if you're not watching it in lockdown, we just transfer that to how you can make the most of winter. And I'm also going to share with you how I'm training towards a marathon and an Ironman in 2021 whilst the lockdown is happening and then through the winter. 2K, easy, done, I'm happy. But what I'm also going to share with you, and if you've been watching the last few videos, then you'll know this is coming, is I'm launching a competition in the next month or so that will give you free training, usually worth over £1,000 for your 2021 season. And that's training by me, coaching one-to-one, full contact, and you only need to do a few little things, and I'm going to tell you how you enter that competition at the end of this video. A little incentive to stick around, eh? Do you like this shot, Mary?
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, I would say that what we're going to talk about in terms of lockdown and in terms of winter training, they're almost the same thing, because winter, you draw away, you tend to train alone a lot more. It's actually harder to get out there, and possibly a little bit the same with lockdown. So whether you're watching this during lockdown or whether you're watching it at a different time and you're still struggling to train, the concepts are the same. And here's what I think is the biggest misconception of them all, is that it's harder to start in the winter. And it's not. I don't think it's harder to start in the winter. I actually think it's harder to keep going in the winter. And that comes down to something I call training momentum. And we got to look at how we build that momentum in a safe way that we keep getting out there. And the reason I place more importance on momentum than I do starting is because if you look at habits and how long they take to form, a good habit takes an average 66 days to form, but on a minimum 30 days to form, and that's around the same time as lockdown. So don't worry about starting. Anyone can go out and start, but it's the staying in the game that's the important thing, and that's what I'm here to talk about, really. And that is really the golden opportunity, and I mean it is a golden opportunity that lockdown has provided, because we're looking to build really consistent, habitual momentum and patterns. And during lockdown, the real emphasis is get outside at least once a day. You know, stay healthy for your mental health and your physical health. Here's this golden opportunity literally handed to us on a plate to start building the right patterns that we're going to need for the rest of our lives. Not just towards a goal, but literally to create that lifetime relationship with running. And we need to embrace it with both hands. How's your coffee, Mare?
Absolutely lush.
You know we love coffee, right? We love coffee. But what you'll probably be wondering is how you build the momentum. And luckily for me, luckily for you, it's not rocket surgery. A little petal. Hello, little petal. Hello, beautiful. Mary, are you going for a run in these?
Yeah.
Look at what Mary's got. Look at those. Happy? Go on then, try out your new trainers.
See you later.
See ya. And now onto the bike, because although I've done a 2-kilometre run, that's not really what I need to be doing for Ironman training and marathon training. It is part of it, but I need to do more. So I need an FTP session on the bike, and I'll explain why I'm doing that, how I'm training for my Ironman, how I'm training for my marathon, over the winter, all of that stuff. Shut up, let's go. Right, let's get this party started. FTP sessions are hard, by the way. So while I'm doing the warm-up for my tempo session that I'm about to do on Zwift, let me just talk you through where I'm at for a marathon and for an Ironman next year. And it might surprise you to know that I am doing probably less training right now than I've ever done, but also than most people would do even if they were training for a 5-kilometre run. And that is that I have, in the month of October anyway, I did 37 kilometres on the bike. And to give you an understanding of what I would usually do, I'd say I probably average 500 kilometres on the bike when I'm actually training for an Ironman. So you can see I really took a step back. Running was slightly better. I did 88 kilometres over the month of October, which, again, to give you some kind of concept of where I would usually be at if I was training for an Ironman, maybe at this part of the year it would be around 150, 160 kilometres in the month. I'm about half that right now. And swimming, I'm not swimming at all. I'm just going to admit that. I'm starting that back up in the new year. So what I'm concentrating on right now is FTP sessions, things that can build my power on the bike without me having to spend hours and hours on the bike. And I'm really being conscientious, starting gradually so I can build that consistency with the running too. And I'm quite happy with the way it's going so far. So good. And I think it's an even more sensible approach than the sensible approach I usually take, which is weird. So if I was going to sum it up, I would just say I'm really not putting in big miles at all. I'm just building good patterns, positive habits. And that's what I'm focusing on in this phase before Christmas. What I need to do is I need to get in the studio and tell you about the other things that I'm going to do that I've started this month, that I'm going to do next month, that are going to see me be able to run a marathon and compete in an Ironman, or see you be able to do whatever you need to do in 2021. So let me catch you up to speed, because it's not just been about the FTP sessions, it's not just been about the running. We were trying to put some other things together in the background that would really help us over the winter, and we'd actually managed to find a way to get ourselves a strength and conditioning coach. And when I say ourselves, I mean Mary and I had invested in a strength and conditioning coach to take us all the way through the winter. And we went to the Better Body Shop, which is a gym in Sevenoaks that's run by our friend George, who's a good friend of ours. I've known him for like 30 years or so, and he'd sorted us out and we were on our way, and we'd started a session, we'd got a personal trainer, and then lockdown happened. But here's the point really, is that started us on a path. It got us thinking about what we needed to achieve. So we've just adapted for the time being. We will go back to the gym. Thanks, George.
Oh, goodbye then.
Bye-bye.
Good to see you.
Thanks, mate. See you later. But right now, what's more important is the fact that we're trying to gain good momentum. We're trying to build those positive habits into our day, because as I've said in numerous videos before, the first thing that I will bin if it comes to it when I'm time crunched or tired would be my strength and conditioning, and we're trying to find ways to make sure that we don't bin the strength and conditioning. And how does that translate to you if you already do strength and conditioning, or you need to focus on other bits? And really, the point I'm trying to make with this whole video is that the way that you gain training momentum, the way that you manage to get yourself out there over and over again, is by taking it gradually and doing little and often. So when I run 5 kilometers or 2 kilometers, the distance doesn't matter to me. It's the process of getting out there. It's the process of doing a warm-up. It's the process of, even before that, getting dressed. Wearing some nice bits of kit really helps you get out there as well. But it's creating a process for yourself during lockdown that you can do every day that's not going to overstress you. So I'm not saying go out and run 10 kilometers every day. I'm saying create a process that gets you momentum. And it could be as simple as going out for a 1 or 2 or 5 minute jog to start with. Really, genuinely, the time doesn't matter. It's the structure. It's creating yourself a structure. And when you come out of the other side of lockdown, 28 days later, you will have 28 days towards creating a habit that you could have for the rest of your life. It could be for years. That's the important thing here. This is starting, almost gaining traction. Lockdown is that perfect time to gain traction that will help you gain the momentum. Anybody can start. Anybody can start a fitness journey, but it takes someone smart, it takes someone savvy, and it takes someone committed to the long term to stay in it. And that is why I assume that you're watching this video, is because you are one of those people. So if you need a level of accountability that you don't currently have, here's what you do. You just tell me on this video, on the comments, what you're going to do every day, how you're going to achieve it. It is an implementation intention. It's a way of putting it out there to the world, and it will hold you accountable. I will be your virtual coach, and you can talk to us on Instagram as well, because I'm doing every day in November. I am training as well, and I'm putting up every day something that I'm doing to try and encourage other people to do the same. I've also ordered some strength and conditioning bands, and I've also created a podcast with 2 of my good friends who are high-level triathletes in order to try and help get some more knowledge out of our heads and into your heads, and it's called Fitness Freaks. And the last 2 episodes have been about how we train in winter, how we approach it in terms of kit, how we approach it in terms of mental tips, footwear, you name it. And the one before that was with George, our friend that runs the Better Body Shop, and that one was about how you can do strength and conditioning over the winter, whether you have equipment or not, whether you have a gym membership or not. So hopefully they're very valuable as well, and you can find it on all major podcasting platforms. It's called Fitness Freaks. Let me know what you think about that. I need to go and do my cool down and my resistance band work. What I'm trying to say really is it's time now to invest in yourself, and it doesn't have to be financially, it could be physically investing in yourself. This was not a bright thing to do, try and hold this position. Oh. So what I'm saying is momentum, habits. And if you want a little incentive, a little bit more incentive to get yourself through that winter, then here's what you need to do to start entering the competition that I'm going to launch, that is going to offer 1 subscriber, and as I say, I always hesitate to say lucky, but 1 subscriber, free coaching in the year of 2021 towards their goal in that season from me. And I'm a level 3 triathlon high performance coach, PE teacher, sports science degree. I have all the necessary qualifications. I've been coaching for 15 years, and I'm going to do that for free, which would usually cost over £1,000. And all you need to do at this point in time is you need to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and that you follow us on Instagram. There will be more to come. It won't be too much, but there's more. That's your starting point. And here's a video that I made not very long ago that will help you with your mindset and how to approach your winter training. And that there is the subscribe button. See you on Wednesday.